You are gonna believe this. No, I mean it. These damn pretentious critics told everyone solo leveling had no deeper meaning. Expect what it takes to obliterate that, turning lead into gold. I may be the first person on all of Earth, in all of human history, to have noticed this. Even the author could have written it all unconsciously. Sorry for the rain and birds. At 3 minutes it starts getting crazy. Solo leveling iceberg. Right at the top, anime. I mean, probably most people saw it, only because manhwa fans were hyping it up so much. So most people who saw it actually didn't read the manhwa, I bet. Me included, by the way. Manhwa. This is the manhwa version. It's made by a small team, adapting the light novel, which is the next tier. 2 anime versions. This refers to the Japanese and the Korean version. Japan and Korea kind of hate each other, so I think Japan develops it, but Korea made the source. In the Japanese one, Song Jin-woo is named Shun Mizushino. Yeah, and he doesn't live in Korea but in Japan. JapVA coughed up blood, Ep 4.
Watch episode 11. I coughed up blood the next morning.
Light novel, author, Chu Gong. This is the actual solo leveling. Translated, only I level up. Or web novel, released around 2014. 2016, it was generic in its Korean niche, but incredibly popular. Savano songs. This is the songs you hear when when crazy stuff happens. When Song Jin-woo kills people.
He only does it once, surely. Or twice.
Mobile game. Yeah, they made a game. What about it? It's really pretty. What? A blockchain NFT game? This video wasn't supposed to be an iceberg. Instead, I'll show my deep interpretation better soon.
Song Jin-woo became the casino broker.
The next tier. Tokyo Ghoul Band Return. They really didn't spare a cent to get the songs. Even so, the voice actors, animators, only I level up is surrounded by passion and talent. I wonder why. Fan arts, events and merch. I decided to put that in tier 3 because the amount of people who have fan art events merch in comparison to the amount of people who watched or know about the anime would be this small. Charming. Sister Leveling is also a fan, abridged version. Yes, sorry for the roller coaster due to poor planning, but the manhwa's main artist's death. Jang Sung-rak died 2022, just a few months after Serialization was finished, at 37 years old. 23rd July. The fans' response? #arise. This story and the real world a symbiotic relationship.
Too shallow! Step deeper!
Sung Jin-woo's birthday is Pisces. That's 2 fishes. It symbolizes change or cycles. Tier 5. Now we go crazy. Magic coma. A disease in the solo leveling world you get if you hang around mana. That's awakened hunters. Or magic crystals, which are the strongest fuel source ever. I wonder why. It's only old people who develop it. Magic coma is not being able to adapt to civilizational change. Like, I better not say it. Like the indigenous Americans who got fat beer and cigarettes. Or like the Mexicans who all get diabetes from Coca-Cola. They couldn't adapt, their bodies aren't made for sugar and stuff like that. So also like lactose intolerance, if they are regularly drinking milk anyways. So that's magic coma, not being able to adapt to civilizational change. They can be saved, the elixir of life. It reflects what Carl Jung called essence. Sung Jin-woo gets it from the Hell Dungeon and system. The system's real-world equivalent is a computer. This is based off an article I read that said computers will change the way the world works. Like, they made a wheel and then some Buddhist said, "Yo, it's just like life is a wheel too." The wheel of life. Wow. But computers will also rewrite the way we see the world. What if computers are only the effect of a shift, the begin of narrowing down something, and AI is the next step from the other direction? Our civilization is narrowing down something deep in us, expressing the strive to find it, not in text and knowledge, but in engineered machines. Not through text and knowledge, but through engineered machines. Tier 6. Jinwoo's shadows, the shadow he summons, are ideas, dead and contrasted. Now this means these are ideas that were forgotten, and he found them again. Or rogue, ideas that are rogue, that are set free and just on their own path. You could call it rogue AI. Ideas that aren't controlled exist. It's not using them that makes them by themselves. So it wouldn't be an idea, but knowledge. So knowledge that's just out there, where you can see people following a certain process. If you start using that process, like marketing, like an ad agency that does really good marketing, they know it because they know how something works. But they didn't invent how it works. It was there before, and they discovered it, but just started using it. That's his shadows. This is also ultra deep on the nature of life and death for us humans. Are we not just processes? So what is death but being forgotten again? In the same way, there are corpses walking around outside. You should introspect this journal. It makes you more alive, literally. The world of the living and the world of the dead. Intuitively one would think them being shadows made me figure out there are reborn ideas or reused ideas. But this is just a design feature. The whole thing is such an information dense diagram. We'll get to that. Understand, them being shadows alone, opposed to light, points to contrast first and foremost. The shadows, coincidentally as duality, are of life and death, known and unknown, but more likely, more intentionally, of light and dark, good and evil. Contrast isn't something they are, it's something they do. And yes, this is included as resource specification of an idea. Data can't be owned, ideas can't be depleted like food. Might be why it feels so overlapping and interconnected. Solo leveling has a well of metaphors, physics. Contrast can be explained as finding the evil in the good, and the good in the evil. What hurts you might help you, what helps you might hurt you. There's countless examples. Think of stress. Chronic stress is bad, but if your body couldn't take stress, you will shatter by touch. Phew. Okay, let's keep going. Subliminal philosophy. Probably a little late to say it, now that I already explored Jinwoo's shadows as ideas. In the opening, there's subliminal philosophy all over the place. Lots of magic is subliminal philosophy. For example, at the end, the season 2 finale, the Ant King. First of all, it's not random that he's an ant. Just like Hunter x Hunter had an ant and everyone was soy-facing, Beru in solo leveling at the end is once again a big event. Oh, it rhymes. What do ants represent? The worker ants. It's a conflict of free will or order. There was also a fruit in the opening that had a divide in between it. One side was, I called it known, unknown, but it was a diagram really. That was not just any shot, that was a diagram. A bunch of plot was in it, and also a bunch of subliminal philosophy. Oh no, let's go to constellations first. In that shot I saw a bunch of constellations. This is the concept that you can connect what you see differently and other results come out, but still every result that comes out is true. They are all true at once. I should have said constellate as a disclaimer to this whole video before talking about the shadows, because with it, even the simple view that it's just a fighting manhwa is totally clean. Still, you can't deny that somehow the show knows what it's doing. SCP solo leveling dungeons as symbol world, communication realm. So solo leveling made me develop a tree. The symbol world, ego world and spirit world. The ego world is you, the spirit world is things you channel, and the symbol world is all communication between spirit world and ego world. For example, DNA is the symbol. What DNA does to us is the spirit. Us noticing, seeing, talking about it equals ego world. We can see whatever we want. Ego is the conscious you, like me now. It rules the now. The three categories do overlap a lot. I first thought dungeons were time travel, but dungeons are actually the symbol world. They look very similar to our world. They have huge human objects in them, like skyscrapers, or even
No more editing, please.
skyscrapers. Why does solo leveling have dungeons? 1. To be unexplored but discoverable. 2. To show that rogue ideas can break into tamed space, Jeju Island arc, which means 2.5. Unconscious ideas, intuition, does as much as our conscious plans make us do. Overlappy as usual. So ideas are processes made as nature has, and the dungeons are a world of symbols that way. Physics are nature's mirror, or we reflect nature through physics. Metaphors stack. Nature even made a wheel through orbit. The symbol world is both engineered by us and partially by nature. The symbol world is the realm of communication. Nature is symbols. We make symbols. Perception is choice disguised as truth. That's... Whenever you see a symbol by nature, remember it was you who saw it. And human civilization also creates symbols like solo leveling. All about the dungeons. The last 2 bits. 1. Ants visiting the real world reveals rogue ideas have an impact on the world. This reflects unchecked desires, invisible, undiscovered egregores, etc. 2. So how are shadows our allies? Born from us. What's a black version of monsters? Ink. Shadows are our drafts / depictions of these rogue ideas. This is the extent perception separates us from reality. We only see reality's shadow, silhouette, which is as accurate as defined. Nature of knowledge itself. At the end... whatever. Watch my other video where I analyze the openings and endings. Of course, I would be a rogue idea until I notice that all this is just my interpretation. And if you look at this and note that what you see and what you think of me is also just your interpretation. We are both shadows, or reborn. Solo leveling created you, ICEBERG. Technically, solo leveling creates you, because it already knows you interpreted it, before you even did. This is basically the closest to creating you fiction can be. It's deliberate in what it shows you, and since it knows it's about ideas, it basically created you by feeding you its ideas. And once you only know about solo leveling, it tells you that everything you saw was an interpretation. So just you. That's how solo leveling created you. Solo leveling turns into your shadow, by its definition of physical reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tier 7. My voice is a little hoarse. Not a pony. I mean horse. As in... Rudolf Steiner Contrast Tree. He actually called it Ahriman Christ Lucifer. Ahriman would be lying intentionally, and Lucifer would be lying but not even knowing it, just believing one's own lie. Christ would be, of course, not lying at all. I'm relentless. Here's an example of contrast. It's a special kind of interpretation. Pfft. The creation myth versus evolution. They seem to contradict each other, yet humans started existing when we called ourselves humans. I don't think I need to stick up for evolution in this case. Contrast is finding value in things that were contradicted. The public usually finds these by just opposing old values. Rebellion. But once you find out there was truth in the old values, but at the same time in the opposing new values, we grow from experience or turn crazy. It's not about being in the middle, it's about getting good contrast. Through the ages, rebellions get justified with rational reason, to look at both and find the truth in between their contradiction, rather than to go with a pendulum swing and go insane once more. Conscious movements and philosophies have to figure their contrast out, as does our logos, but intuition has contrast already included. Evolution has hard-baked contrast into us. For example, there's genetics that cause you to get injured easily. Only this causes that there aren't any big injuries, because before those are risked, one gets a small one. Practically use it to retroactively make mistakes deliberate and advantageous, like the "yes, this was my plan all along" joke. But who are you but an interpretation of what your plan was all along? Like Tao? I'm sorry I made you study contrast a little. But hey, at least you now know. prophecy of a new age. This is going one step further from magic coma, not being able to adapt to civilizational change, with awakened hunters and spirit worlds, symbol worlds. It might just be the life of the priest class in the next age. Or well, it could just be the life of the author. Because I wonder what the hell it took to write all this stuff into your story. It must have taken a departure through the dungeons. It must have taken awakening. It must have taken a mana crystal. Maybe as desk light. Age of Aquarius, Maya, and even some rumors around Kali Yuga shifting. And also the neo-medievalism thing, although that's more political science. The dungeons being full of collapsed buildings shows it's an apocalypse, which translated to revelation. This is also in the second ending, and as such can be applied not only to Sang Jin-woo's growth, but solo leveling's world in a greater way. The Jeju Island incident, the double dungeon, solo leveling's story starts when the world got interesting, instead of when portals first showed up. A cornerstone, the Jeju Island ants, show we will take the unconscious more serious as causes of what we do in the next age. Moses parting waves, two sides, two clashes, two waves clashing each other, but he walked right in the middle. This is the Rudolf Steiner contrast tree. Plus, Jesus walking over water. I'm over the water. Water normally makes you drown. What would make you drown, which you don't think you can walk over? Something like depression, perhaps? Depressed as hell. But oh what? Suddenly Jesus walks right over his own depression. You couldn't believe your eyes. And he helped one of his disciples walk over water, by the way, too. So, maybe if you are really depressed, you can try walking over water. I mean, in the metaphorical sense. So, Moses parting waves plus Jesus walking over water equals Sang Jin-woo recruiting shadows. Shadows in the contrast part, recruiting in the idea part. I feel like this video taught me to be humble. I went in self-serving, only caring about delivering my interpretation, but the people who worked on solo leveling, whether it's the voice actor blood incident, anonymous artists and one who died, Japan and Korea working together in a way, at the end none of it would have happened if there wasn't people. So let's put people right here at the end, neither in a parasocial or materialistic way, but as souls of something greater, of an inherent nobility and value. Souls of our ancestors too. That way, solo leveling is a fresh breath of air in today's media landscape. Melancholic as in, only you have them behind you. It's only what you make of it. Word lines. Without someone to see it, there was nothing. This is the cheating part of alchemy. Attachment contradicts equivalent exchange. What gives solo leveling its worth is we. You and me. And that's just beautiful. You can figure the rest out yourself. There's lots more. I really would want someone else to find more stuff because rewatch solo leveling. But oh well, with this in mind. Watch my other video on this, where I analyzed the openings and endings. And there I wasn't that close to the truth yet. So it should be fun watching. The ending is really good in particular.